Okay, so let's look at our first problem. We have 3x squared is equal to 48, and we want to solve for x using the square root method. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So when we do that, we get x squared is equal to 48 divided by 3. Okay, so how many times is 3 go into 48? Well, 3 goes into 48 16 times, so we have x squared is equal to 16. Now, in order to get x by itself, we want to take the square root of both sides. So when we do that, we get x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 16. So the square root of 16 is 4, so we have x is equal to plus or minus 4. So this means that we have x is equal to 4 and x is equal to negative 4. Okay, and that is how you do the first problem. Now let's look at our second problem. We have x squared plus 1 is equal to 5, and we want to solve for x using the square root method. So what we're going to do is we're going to first subtract 1 from both sides. So we have x squared is equal to 4. So again, we need to take the square root of both sides. So that means that we have x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 4, which means we have x is equal to plus or minus 2. So we have x is equal to 2 and x is equal to a negative 2. Okay, and that is how you do the second problem. Now let's look at our third problem. We have x minus 1 all squared is equal to 16, and we want to solve for x using the square root method. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the square root of both sides. So we have x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 16. So this means that we have x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 to both sides. So we have x is equal to 1 plus or minus 4, which means we have x is equal to 1 plus 4 and x is equal to 1 minus 4. So then we have x is equal to 5 and x is equal to a negative 3. Okay, and that is how you do the third problem. And that is how you solve for x using the square root method.